transcendental sound is penetrating through all the layers that cover the material world. We find descriptions how the universe is compared to an egg-like shape, which is hollow on the inside, but has a big shell made of different layers. The first layer is a layer of earth, and 10 times more than that layer of earth is a layer of water, and 10 times more a layer of fire, and 10 times more a layer of air, and ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. In this way, the entire material world exists, and our universe is just one of many. All universes clustering together and floating on the causal ocean. All these universes are appearing from the boreholes of Mahavishnu. Srila Prabhupada once described it, and he said like that yes, all these universes appear from the boreholes of Mahavishnu, and then in each of these universes Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters and rests on the water that comes from his own body. And then again, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu enters and said that within this universe there are many planets, and on these many planets there's one planet Earth, and on this planet there are many continents, and there's one country, and there's the city of Los Angeles, and there is Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and he thinks that he's the center of the universe. Right? And Tamal Krishna Maharaj became the scapegoat for all of us, because who doesn't think he's the center of the universe? It doesn't mean you have to be so proud and think, oh, I am so powerful to be the center of the universe. No. You can just simply be the center of the universe when we always think of our own condition. How are you now? Well, it's okay, but there is something. Oh, I see. Or how are you now? Well, it's okay, but I would like to see some changes. How are you now? How are you now? Me, mine, these things somehow or other occupy our mind. And Krishna is there, but remains in the background in our life. And that is our spiritual life. We are on main stage, and Krishna is the backdrop. It's nice Krishna conscious life. But when will that moment come, Sarvadharma Parichaya Mamekam Saranam, that Krishna will become everything? And the Abhilasita Sunyam, that we will be free from any other desire. Gyalaka Anamita. That day has not yet arrived. So, but somehow or other, the power of the Sankirtan movement is very great. Kirtan is definitely addictive. If you do it once, you have to do it again. And then again and again. It's hard to stop. It just goes on and on and on. Again and again, that Kirtan is calling us. It takes us. It lifts us away on its own power. You might be thinking that when I'm sitting here and singing that I'm playing, but it's not like that. The kirtan is actually carrying me. It's the kirtan carries us, although everyone is making quite some noise on their various tools. Some especially, not to mention names, but you know who I mean. And although everyone is making noise, still somehow or other all that noise together carries us. Just like when Srila Prabhupada started in Tompkins Square Park, if you look at the video, some people, they were making really terrible noise. There was an adult who played a flute like a 5-year-old. Right? I mean, peeping and painful to the ears, but Prabhupada was oblivious. Just, yes, everything was possible, no problem. And it merged somehow or other in the sound of the Mahamantra that carried everyone. And simply, although no one understood, now, of course, so much has changed. In the very early days of ISKCON, in 1966, the devotees in America, all they knew was Prabhupada, Swamiji. That was all they ever knew. They didn't know anything else. But everything was there. That was the amazing thing. He carried full Krishna consciousness in his heart. Therefore, knowing Prabhupada meant knowing the essence of Bhagavatam, knowing the essence of spiritual life. So they knew the essence, and they tasted that essence intensely, but they didn't know any details. Now we know so many details. Now we know Ekadasi, this, that, Ekadasi Paran, next day, time to break the fast between, sometimes it's only 6 minutes. Ready. Put the grain ready the day before, and so 1, 2, go. Made it in time. So now, so many technical details are known. Now we know that there are different ways to pay obeisances. With 5 parts of the body touching the ground, with 7 parts of the body touching the ground. Now we know some of these things from Hare Vilas, at least somebody knows. At that time, nobody knew anything. Nobody knew anything. But they knew Swamiji. When Srila Prabhupada brought the deities of Lord Jagannath in San Francisco, somehow or other, Malati had found them in a shop and had brought them, and then Shamasundar had carved big deities of Jagannath. And at that time, Prabhupada began, and he said, oh, we take a candle, put it on a tray, and then you can offer circles. You can offer circles. And Hayagriva was offering the circles to Jagannath, and Hayagriva said, this is fun. This is fun. He said, is there more? And Rama said, if I would tell you, you would faint. Now we know so much about puja. You can do different yantras, mantras, you can do so many things in puja. And you can find books, you can download it from the internet, you can know all these things. So, if we look at ISKCON today, now it is a developed society. In 1966, it was not that. But one thing they had in 1966, an incredible focus on the essence. An incredible focus on the essence. On the very essence of suitability, of pure devotional service. One time, I was studying the early Back to Godhead magazines from 1966, the first ones, and I was reading them on that day, just to capture a little of the mood of that time, which I thought was very significant. And I looked at the magazine, and the whole magazine was about Prabhupada. Everything was about Prabhupada. You know, Prabhupada here, Prabhupada there, Prabhupada said this. There was one article that was about the devotees waiting for Prabhupada. It's just an article, devotees waiting for Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was up in his quarters, and the devotees were waiting for Prabhupada to come downstairs. And they had kirtan, so they had a long kirtan, and still Prabhupada didn't come. So, okay, after the long kirtan, then there was some katha, some talk. And as the talk was there, then Kirtanananda was asked to speak because he was the sannyasi, the senior. So he spoke. And he said, where were we 1 year ago? Where were we even 6 months ago? He said, and how is it that now we all have these shining faces? There is only one reason. It is because we came in contact with the pure devotee. So that was the whole focus. That was it, the pure devotee. Everyone was thinking about the pure devotee. And because of the pure devotee, everyone was thinking about pure devotional service. Now, we think of so many things. We think of too many things. Because more complexity. And sometimes we forget that the essence of everything is pure devotional service. That is really what we are meant to be practicing. That is what we are meant to attain. So, but that is for advanced devotees. Prabhupada was translating. This time in the evening, it was 11 o'clock. And as he was sitting down with the dictaphone and speaking into the dictaphone a translation, then he said to one devotee, he said, come, sit next to me while I'm translating. Oh, Prabhupada, it's 11 o'clock, it's late. Whole day, I'm very tired now. Tomorrow, big day. No, I have to go to bed. What to? Prabhupada said, but I'm not going to bed. He said, yes, but Prabhupada, you are a pure devotee. And Prabhupada said, yes, why are you not a pure devotee? What to say? That was Prabhupada's question. Why are you not a pure devotee? Why? Because you choose not to be. It's a choice. It's not that, it's not just a choice, we have many reasons. I'm not a pure devotee because my father was not a pure devotee, and my grandfather was also not a pure devotee. And I'm not a pure devotee because in school they didn't teach us how to be pure devotees. I am not a pure devotee because there are very few pure devotees in the world, so I just cannot be expected to be a pure devotee. You know, even Bhagavad Gita says it's very rare, very rare. So, somehow or other, sometimes very rare there is one pure devotee, but I am just ordinary. What can I do? I admit it. I'm nobody special. I'm not a pure devotee. So, and the list of excuses becomes longer and longer and longer. But what if we would just throw away our list and just be pure devotees? What if we would just do it? All right. Good lecture, nice point. We'll do it tomorrow.
Haribol.
No, Haribol. No, Haribol. Not tomorrow. Surrender is not tomorrow. Surrender is now. Not after the lecture, now. It is now. If we choose to be a pure devotee now, and then we make the choice again in the next moment, and in the next moment, and then the next day, and then the day after that, and we choose again and again. It's not one-time choice. It's an ongoing choice, again and again, from moment to moment. We just choose each moment. Pure devotional service, then we realize it. As simple as that. Then it's done. Simple. Let's do it. Yes. And then we don't do it. Lip service. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 19, we find the instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami. And we find a lengthy description of living entities. First it said there are different living entities in different species of life. Some are in the plant form, some are in the animal form, some are in the insect form, some are in the four-legged forms and so on, and some are coming to the human form. And then it says, but out of those who have attained the human form, very few are actually civilized human beings who have a connection with the Vedas. So anyone who doesn't have a connection with the Vedas is uncivilized. What to do? And then there are civilized human beings who have a connection with the Vedas. It said, but of those, most are only practicing lip service. Now this is interesting because Rupa Goswami is writing this 500 years ago. So India 500 years ago is very different from India today. There is one magazine called India Today, and inside is only rubbish. I'm sorry, 500 years ago, India was very different. Imagine, no Bollywood. Oh, yes. 500 years ago in India, there was no Bollywood. 500 years ago in India, there was no chai. Garam chai, chai garam. No, it didn't exist. All these things were not there. No biddies, nothing. All these things did not exist. Yeah, so many things did not exist that we now take as very Indian. So many things now we think are very Indian, but actually all these things 500 years ago did not exist. So and Rupa Goswami points out that even 500 years ago, people were rendering lip service. That means only by speech, but not from the heart, not actually doing. Talking, yes, yes, yes. Krishna, Krishna, yes, yes. Bhagavan, yes, yes, yes. Anand. माफ कीजिए भगवान, मैं तो नहीं सुन रहा, मेरा काम तो बंद कर दिया, आपको उपदेश तो नहीं सुन रहा। What to do? So this movement is offering us this opportunity, and the eagerness is required to be a pure devotee, somehow or other. We must try. Every day again. Every day is an opportunity. In the beginning of the day we must think, what will I offer to the Lord today? In the evening of the day we should look back to the day and think, what have I offered to the Lord today? And then think, I'll try again tomorrow. Wasn't really successful. But anyway, try it one more time tomorrow. Every day to think like this. No day is an ordinary day. Every day is special. Because every day is for Krishna. And Krishna is special. So a day for him is also special. People have Sunday, that's for the sun. People have Moon Day for the moon. Right? Like this, they have Sanivar, right? Saturday for Saturn, for Sunny. So, okay, we have different days for different planets. In French, avec Krishna Maharaj, s'il vous plaît, parlez en français. Je sais pas, mais... Parce qu'il y a des gens qui ne comprennent rien du tout de la France. C'est une grande histoire. Un petit peu, je peux mélanger quelque chose pour ceux qui comprennent rien du tout. Some Hindi as well. But what we really want to do is become Anyabilasita Sunya. To come to that stage of pure devotional service. All right. We tried today, and maybe if we take an inventory of what we did we read enough Shastra today? Now, could have been more. Who cannot say could have been more? How were the rounds? Well, did we finish them already? Did we not finish them yet? Oh. And even if we finished them, were they nice rounds? How nice. All these things. If we take an inventory of the day, then we can see what we have offered Krishna. Maintenant, pendant le soir, on peut regarder qu'est-ce qu'on a fait pendant la journée. Peut-être on a chanté déjà 16 tours, j'espère. Peut-être on a déjà entendu quelque chose, lu quelque chose des Écritures. Ouais, peut-être. Est-ce qu'il a été suffisant? Je crois. Comme ça. Alors, pas dormir. Et on peut essayer encore demain. And we can try again and again. So each day is an opportunity to renew our commitment. Not once a year on Vyasa Puja, when we cry tears. Guru Maharaj. I live by your mercy only. Guru Maharaj, you came into this world and you were so kind upon us fallen souls. But Guru Maharaj, I have not taken advantage of this mercy. Guru Maharaj, please forgive me, accept this fallen servant. I promise you. From now on, my life is yours. Guru Maharaj. Anyway, I hope you like my Vyasa Puja offering. So in this way, we must somehow or other take advantage of the opportunities. Not wait, when will pure devotional service come? When will Krishna Prem come? Every morning, in some houses, but not in every. So, normally it's not you go to sleep at night and you wake up in the morning and suddenly you wake up in total ecstasy. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we find a description of how the cowherd boys wake up in the morning. And it says when they wake up in the morning, their hairs are standing on end, yes, in ecstasy. I don't know if that happened to you, but so far it hasn't happened to me yet. And I woke up like that. The morning is usually like, The first thing is what is happening, second one is, okay, let me start up. Like an old car that needs to be pushed. Sometimes you have a car that's very old. I'm sure in Mauritius they have such cars, no? They have to push them to start. Yeah, so our spiritual life is in the morning is like that, like an old car that we have to push. So this lecture is about enthusiasm. To serve Krishna with utsaha, with great enthusiasm. And that is the essence. That is the essence. And when Prabhupada was present, then the devotees felt this enthusiasm. Because he was emanating it constantly. And therefore, they had a very clear focus of what they were striving for. To become a pure devotee like Prabhupada and serve Krishna with great, great enthusiasm. So, I want to thank you this evening for your enthusiasm. You were very enthusiastic. I don't have so much enthusiasm. But by your mercy, I hope to get some enthusiasm to serve Krishna. That's our goal. Alors, 2 minutes en français. 2 minutes in French, just for the ones who have asked for it. En français, je peux dire que j'ai parlé de ce que Prabhupada et du commencement de ce mouvement et que Srila Prabhupada a été là, le dévot pur. J'ai raconté une petite histoire comme les dévots ont attendu pour Prabhupada pour descendre de son chambre à eau. Et les dévots ont resté là pour longtemps et on a fait de kirtan. Et après un long kirtan, Prabhupada a encore pas du tout arrivé. Donc quelqu'un a commencé à parler et a été le seul sannyasis, Kirtanananda. Kirtanananda a expliqué que maintenant on est là, et on est là peut-être pour 1 an, peut-être pour 6 mois, mais regarde qu'il a passé avec nous. Nous avons changé par l'association d'un dévot pur, et par cette association d'un dévot pur, nous avons la brillance transcendantale. Et cette brillance transcendantale peut aider à nous maintenant pour obtenir le but de la vie. Donc, comme ça, les dévots ont eu une vision vraiment claire de qu'est-ce que c'est le but de la vie. Aujourd'hui, il n'y a plus de complications dans la vie spirituelle, beaucoup de connaissances, beaucoup d'affaires. Et comme ça, les gens connaissent les écritures, les gens connaissent les chansons, les mélodies, on sait comment on peut faire les dopis à plusieurs styles, ça aussi, et comme ça, on a Bharatnatyam, on a bien sûr des choses, et comme ça, on a des grandes choses vraiment culturelles et profondément indiennes et tout ça, et spirituelles, mais on n'a pas toujours l'essence, service de vos chemins purs. Et c'est ça le seul intérêt de ce mouvement. Et c'est ça le seul but dans notre vie. Krishna. C'est ça. Ah oui. Alors ça c'est l'essence de cette présentation d'aujourd'hui. Question. Prasna. Question. I can do more languages, but you don't understand. I can do it in German also. Und einmal war Prabhupada in seinem Siva oben und dann darunter hat sein riesiger Kirtan gegeben. Yeah. But the essence is really that we somehow or other make that connection with Krishna. Yeah.
How we can encourage devotees to get more active, to help for festivals, for...
How we can encourage devotees to become more active, to partake in festivals and all these things. Just like Srila Prabhupada. He was all alone. Old man. Went to America. How did he do it? How did he do it? Did he stand on the street corner and say, now listen, you Americans. You have to surrender. How did he do it? Huh?
By himself, and he surrendered to...
By himself, yes. And what did he do by himself? Prabhupada had kirtan, Prabhupada cooked prasadam. He would clean up himself afterwards, everything. He had one pot in the storefront which was always full with gulab jamuns. That was the tradition. Tu as compris ça? Que dans le temple de Maître's Gifts, on a eu toujours une casserole avec de gulab jamun. Toujours. Il a été là. Et quand il était vide, on a mis plus dedans. Alors, ça c'est une tradition que c'est perdu dans nos temples, et je crois que c'est un des grands problèmes des ISKCON aujourd'hui. That tradition is now lost in our temples, to keep this pot with the gulab jamuns. And I think that's one of the big things we have lost in ISKCON. That pot with gulab jamuns was important. To create enthusiasm. And Prabhupada himself showed so much enthusiasm. He was so eager to do so many things for Krishna, and he tried so hard at his old age that people just felt, I want to help him. So, yeah, if we work very hard ourselves. Jayananda, Prabhupada's disciple, he did Rath Yatra with nothing, no help. Nobody gave him any money. He would have to collect all the money. Then he would build the cart. He would get all the materials. He would get all the bananas from Louis the Banana King, donated for distribution. He arranged for prasadam. Everything he arranged, from beginning to end. He would sew the canopy himself, everything, and pick up people from the street. Excuse me, sir. Would you hold this plank, please? Yes, why not? Okay, yes. Okay, then he put some nails on one side, Jayananda. Then he says, oh, could you put some nails on the other side? Yes, no problem, can we put some nails? Then he says, oh, you are very expert, are you a carpenter? The next moment, he was building the Rath car. Then, if they would want to smoke, then Jayananda said, stop, go wash your hands, your mouth. This is for the Lord, you cannot smoke, but they would give them smoke break. Somehow or other, they had to build the Rath. But he did it, and they became devotees. And Jayananda would be the first one up in the temple, and the last one to go to bed. He would take care of everyone. Even in the middle of the night, he would wake up a devotee and say, open your mouth and put a gulab jamun inside. He did all this. He would buy clothes for the devotees. Like that. We must do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I thank you. I think I'm gonna escape. but maybe just 5 minutes, but I'll do some tune of Madhava, so it's